Hi and welcome to this video. Now, if you're brand new to DaVinci Resolve and you're a complete beginner, you may be a little bit overwhelmed by the interface of DaVinci Resolve. So what I suggest you do is completely ignore most things apart from the area down here, which is the timeline. Now, one of the important things to realize first of all is that you can have multiple tracks in both the video and also the audio. To simply create a new track, you can just right click in the area here and do add track. Notice the track appears at the top. So in DaVinci Resolve and other similar video editors is the concept of multiple kind of layered tracks. So one of the important things to understand straight away when you're brand new to DaVinci Resolve is you not only can you have multiple tracks, but they appear effectively as layers. So the visibility appears from the top, the highest video track going down to the bottom. So video 4 has higher priority in terms of visibility than video 1. So what do I mean by this? Well, imagine that you have effectively like a camera looking from the ceiling, looking down, and the grey area down here is the floor. So anything on top of it is going to be visible and what's underneath it is not going to be visible. So take this particular example here. If I click on the playhead here, the video that is on track 2 is visible in our preview here. But the actual footage that's on track 1 is not visible, and that's because it's covered by all of track 2. If we have some footage on track 3, then that would be visible instead. So let me just take this footage on track 2 and drag it on top of what we have on track 2 where the playhead is. And now we're seeing the footage on track 3 and we can't see what's happening on track 2 or track 1. If I then drag that away and took, for example, track 2, removed over here, we can now see what is happening on track 1. Now the audio tracks behave differently than the video tracks. Rather than having some sort of visibility, they all sound at the same time. So we have an audio track here playing, which is basically the speech. And then we have another audio or sound effects appearing on the audio track down here. And we could have another audio track and just keep adding audio tracks and they work in opposite directions. So this is the audio track 1 and it goes from 2, 3, and as I create another one, that'll be track 4 down here. Whereas videos goes in the opposite direction. But all the audio tracks play at exactly the same time. And that's determined, or the volume of those are determined by the volume of the tracks or the track mixer over here. So in terms of the audio, what you can do, if you want to change the audio of a particular clip, you can click on the clip and either, if you hover over the little thin line here in the waveform, you can click until it gets to the double-headed arrow and drag it up or down. If you drag it up, it's going to make it louder, as you can see by the waveform here, or if I click and hold it and bring it downwards, it's going to make it much quieter. You can also do the same thing in the Inspector tab. If I click on this, go up to the top right here, make sure the inspector is visible by clicking Inspector, clicking where it says Audio, and you have a volume control here. You can drag the volume of the clip up or down. You can see it's changing the waveform down here if I drag this up and down. You can also change the pan level as well if it's a stereo track by dragging it backwards and forwards here. This is a mono track. How do I know it's a mono track? Well, if I go to where it says here, 1.0 is a mono track, 2.0 is a stereo track. If I wanted to convert a stereo track to mono, let's say for example you've got a microphone and you want it to appear on like both channels or effectively in the center, then you can right click where it says number 2 and do change track to mono, and then it's going to go to 1.0. You can also mix the audio by using the mixer, and at the moment it's visible. If it's not visible, then click where it says mixer at the top here, and you can see we have the mixer and we have audio 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the mixer changes the overall volume of the entire audio track, whereas before if we click on the actual clip we can change the audio level of that particular clip only, and it's not going to affect the volume of any other audio clips on that track. But if I use the mixer over here, I can actually change the overall volume of the entire track, and then each of the individual clips are then relative to that level. So for example, if I bring this down to down to 20, minus 20 down here, then that's going to lower the general audio level of the entire track. I can then come and actually fine tune it of that particular clip if it's particularly noisy and just drag that volume. It's not going to affect the other audio levels of other clips. Now back on the video tracks, I spoke earlier about the visibility of the higher the number, the more visible it is. In terms of 4 is going to be more visible than 3, 2 and 1. But if you disable the track, let's say for example I put the video track 3, which you can currently see in the viewer here, and then I come over to here and I click this button, this disables video track 3. And now, because this is disabled, we only see the contents of track 2 underneath. If I then disable video track 2, I then see the contents of video 1. So these become effectively invisible. And then I only see the ones that are currently enabled. If I re-enable the tracks by clicking here, that's now video track 2. If I re-enable track 3, then track 3 becomes the one we see in the player. And in terms of the audio tracks as well, we can just mute individual audio tracks. If we don't want to have, for example, the sound effects playing on this track here, I can click the M and the entire track is now been muted. I'm only going to hear the audio on track 1. So that's a very quick beginner's guide to using the timeline inside DaVinci Resolve.